So just make yourself comfortable and relaxing with your sitting posture. But just as His Holiness Dalai Lama, jokingly says when he says people to important to have a relaxed state of mind and body, but he said, I'm not saying that you should go to sleep. So rather, along with the relaxed state of body, so we want to also bring about a state of mind, which is very, in which we enjoy some sort of peace, tranquility, and clarity. So it's important to have a state of mind, which is calm and clear, and because conversely speaking, if our the state of mind is very very unruly, very vulgar, and very like a wrathful, then the similar it would effect of like the effect of negativity will be also then noticed in our in our action, whether it's a verbal or bodily actions. So therefore we can also notice that how we as a person we also find ourselves very restless, even very even some aggressive, if the kind of mind that we have within ourselves if it's in that kind of state, like very negative and very aggressive. So as a person, we also have this person would have this very negative experience. So it's good to understand, the kind of the effect and this interrelation between our mind and on ourselves and our experience. So according to this, the Atishas, I was saying that the excellent, instruction is just observing our own one's own mind. So the indication is how it is within our mind. Knowing our mind, then we will know ourselves. What sort of person we are, what sort of the actions that we would we undertake in our life. So based on this, see if we really direct our mental attention to our just observing our mind, our state of mind, and then suppose if we recognize the state of mind, that if we have a state of mind which is very unruly, very like a vulgar state of and very destructive kind of state of mind, then really when we recognize that, we should be it would make us feel really unease and feel even to some extent to be frightening of that, because it has a strong influence or the impulses on one to really to act in a very destructive way. So therefore the point is that to understand is that how until and unless we do something to calm and to really to subdue this vulgar state of mind, there is really it is very difficult for us to then to bring about a stable peace and happiness in our life. It is also the fact true that before we engage in undertake any major actions, we generate a thought or the intentions of undertaking that actions. So therefore the thought or the intention really always presides over our actions, and so therefore our actions, whether it's good or bad, whether it's something beneficial or harmful, is very much reflect the preceding thought which they motivate us to do that actions. So this means that if we can also means that we can really prevent something like unwanted actions, but we can undertake more positive or more beneficial actions, more right actions, by modifying the thought which presides our actions. So therefore, in this, in order to do this, of course, it is important to before we undertake the actions, we should have really have to examine our thoughts or the intentions which of undertaking the actions. So as we examine if that the intentions or the thought of doing that action, so it really seems like very destructive, something not really positive, not something wholesome, then this is means that this should be a strong message for one, advice to one to really to overcome that, as we do not want to do certain action which is not meaningful, not useful. So likewise, if the thought is something positive, then we should be inspired to undertake whatever that thought tell us. So in this way, what we are doing here, as we in one sense, we are making the best use of this human human like intelligent power or the wisdom knowledge. So which is really the unique attributes that we as a human being that we all possess, and so therefore it is so important that in our life whatever we do, or if we want to make progress, to make the best use of, to fully utilize this wisdom knowledge, and so on this line, how we can notice that we must then overcome all these negative or the vulgar state of mind, because these states of mind, when we have this, our mind is filled with all this state of mind, unwholesome and a vulgar state of mind, then it's like we get very distorted and deluded, and as if this thought is almost like the darkening, almost like brings darkness in our mind. Right.
Right, yeah, the Mashira girl is here. Lenin gave Shira girl, Chinyama, Shira girl, yes, good friend. Lost on them. Shira Cheva. Yen Deba said, you know, she said, no, Papa, sister, you know, take them to Shira and body. Then Jen saw Shira, Pejet, saw the guardian Shira Pejet, you know. 그래서 소소만아 시고진 제 소소 리더들 야보는 뒤문도 소시라 좀만 제입니다. 시라 좀만 제 뒤지를 싸워요. 전에 때 아니야. 아 야보 시라 이거다. 네가 손 뒤에 되는 거를 들리지 그건 뇌에서 대기 도와래.
So the as we or prior to engaging in any activities, so it's very important that we investigate, we examine the whether engaging in this activity is something very, there's an advantage for one or not, or disadvantage or not, or in terms of the beneficial or those or harmfulness or harmful. So in this way, if what we're trying to understand here is to in our life we should really always trying to move forward, or in our life, or take a step in our life, really most importantly based on or directed by our own the wisdom, knowledge, or this human intelligence powers, which I said before, which we all possess within ourselves, and so we cannot. When we think about it, without utilizing this, our own this intelligent knowledge, then we are really, if we are just being our life or is just simply led by or persuaded by some what the outside world, tell us to do, then there is, we can see there's a great deal of, we are taking a lot of risk in our life, and it's not really not what we the outside world tell us is not really even reliable as well. So so therefore this we not necessarily, this is something utilizing your own this intelligent power is essential, not only to for the spiritual, like a practice, but even in our making any like a worldly decisions, undertaking any just mundane like everyday life activities is the best tools that we have is our own intelligence, our own wisdom powers, not easily or not always just relying on the outside world, and so of course in terms of the spiritual practice, there is it is said that in order to even to listen or to follow the spiritual practice properly, then there are three very important the factors which are that the listener must possess is the first one is the sense of like a discernment, which is like a knowledge, wisdoms, and also the unbiased or the impartial mental attitudes, and then there's talk about like motivations or the intentions for the practice. So therefore, this, we can see this obviously one of these important factors is the wisdom knowledge. So and so therefore, whatever actions we undertake, we do, if it's directed, if it's based on the wisdom knowledge, then we will find that the result would be something very fruitful, and also it can be more, we can not only fruitful but also be able to achieve the result, quickly and easily as well. Yes. Even the kind, the Buddha also said, or advised to his follower that do not believe in my word simply because of your veneration, your respect to me. So instead, you must examine and invest and check my words yourself. And so this is the when we think about this the advice, the Buddha's advice, then what it says, it really is like it's Buddha is then pointing. What he's saying, the most important is to for everyone to really to develop, to make a self-development is really depends upon your own the increasing of your own wisdom knowledge, and so therefore this it's like the Buddha is really directing encouraging the follower to ignite that wisdom, and as if like that is if we is if you like an example, if you like it's like a flower, then it's the important the awakening of oneself is like the blossoming of that wisdom within ourselves. And so when we think, even though there are in the world there are so many other spiritual teachers there, but if we check on that, what all the other all the spiritual teachers says, and then we think about this. What this Buddha said here, that is to don't believe in what I say out of your veneration, but use your own intelligent wisdom. So he really giving all the listener this freedom, this liberty to use your own intelligent wisdom, and because he see that is the true way to increase, to really to opening up your the wisdom within the individual being, and so it's not like the Buddha, it wouldn't, rather than saying, to the follower that I am a perfect being, I'm an awakened one, and so therefore you must accept and do whatever I said you to do. So when you do that, then it kind of doesn't allow the listener to utilize, to access that, or tap into the wisdoms within themselves. Blind faith. So if the Buddha said to us that you must believe in I'm a fully enlightened being, so you must believe in whatever I said, then you will be cultivating this blind faith and simply believing in that, and then you won't think of or take any action, any measurement from your own, won't do anything from your own side, and so therefore this can be it's not going to be that effective in terms of the developing one's own all the spiritual qualities. And even if we look into all this, the Buddhist scripture, written by the early, great Indian masters, such as Nagarjunas and Chantakirtis, we'll find that their writing is full of the explanations based on the reason and the logics, reason and the reasoning and the logics, and so this is also to to imply to us that we must also in our the approach to the spiritual practice. So when we must apply. We must always trying to understand, develop our understanding based on through the reasoning and the logic, and so when we do this, and as a result of this approach, then we will notice that it can increase our wisdom knowledge, and with the wisdom knowledge, we'll notice that the more we increase, there's still more there to increase, and we will notice it's quite quite incredible in terms of the extent to which we can increase our this wisdom knowledge. So we start our talk with this focus on the recognizing the unruly or very unwholesome state of mind within ourselves. So now generally speaking, if we talk about the nature of our mind, the fundamental or the basic nature of our mind, then we will notice that when we check in that, then these unruly and these negative states of mind, so these are not really it's not polluted, not really polluted the nature, or not really stain this basic nature of our mind. So and how when we say something is if something is in the very, for example, all these mental defilements or the afflictive emotions. So if these emotions are really polluted or have stain in the basic nature of our mind, then they have to be they should be present in our mind at all the time. So which the fact that how when we think of certain like a emotion, like the afflictive or certain like a destructive emotions, how even if we certain time we experience that, but then it is then there will be time when we don't have that. And so this shows that this emotion, this destructive and all the afflictive emotion are not in the nature of our mind, and so therefore if you ask the question, then if it's not, but they are not nature, not in the nature of our mind, then why they arise, in our mind, in our mind, then the answer is that due to certain the immediate causes and condition, immediate certain circumstances, so the cause and condition they arises, and so therefore but they are not in the nature of the mind. So therefore the thinking on this, understanding this fact that this unruly and this negative state of mind and emotion which are the source of all our dissatisfaction, unhappiness in our life. So if since these are not in the nature, not polluted the nature of our mind, so there is when we're understanding this, then we can also understand that it is then possible for us to separate or to remove these from our mind, because they are not in the nature of mind. It is something separate from our mind. Because if they are in the nature of mind, then there is no hope for us to be these affliction to be separated from our mind. Then there is really nothing we can do about when these emotion arise. There's nothing we can do. We just simply have to put up with them. But however, the understanding that these are, they only arise, they are not in the nature of mind, but only arise due to certain immediate causes and conditions. So therefore, we have to understand that it's possible, therefore, for us to be able to prevent and to remove this from our mind. So regarding this, the fact that how the basic nature of our mind is not affected, is not polluted by this all this, any stain, mental stain. So the best it can be elaborated or explained is with the analogy of like the sky and the cloud. So our mind is likened to the nature of mind, basic nature is likened to the sky, and whereas the mental defilements or the afflictions that arise is like the cloud. So so it is the fact that because the cloud is not really in the not in the nature of this space, that it will be, the cloud will go away with due to the sudden movement or the flow of like the wind, and so in similar way, so it is possible for us to be able to remove or separate our mind, from all this mental affliction, such as when we say mental afflictions or defilements, we are talking about such like a destructive emotion, such as like the angers and pride and jealousy, so forth. So how all these emotion, destructive emotions, so these all can be can be separated from our mind, can be eliminated completely, eliminated from our mind, and so in this way, in fact this statement, that how the saying that how the basic nature of our mind, so the defilement is not in the nature, not affected or not polluted or stained the basic nature of mind. So this is really shows the one of the fundamental, like really the assertions of the Lord Buddha's teaching or of the Buddhisms, that how it is possible, the possibility of exhausting or getting rid of all the like the faults, and whereas the possibility of achieving or the all the excellent qualities within us. So it is so this statement is used as is really the one of the main reasoning, the source which used to establish this fact.
This is Sudo is self carrying out what doing a something that you marry, you marry. Maria then King Drol said massage or to the Missana do her. No, you need it. They might tell you that's that. So, Tenizona. Mother tells on your own cover. Say, several toys are here, I know. That's it. Say, she body, here, I know. Then when you are lower than it, Yamo Trado, control us of cover and kicks them as you and call mom watching there. Watching your body, watching there, calling your bathing, nearly calling your bathing. There's a bathing, go there, gentlemen, she bought the chin. Such a tongue, Kanga, my third day get Mamma said, Kanga, she don't know I'm kidding. She, my third day get my set. She don't know I'm kidding. Said about it, such a 20 didn't, said that they know you did, they know you 10 days or something. And you see, 10 days. 10 days or your son. Come on, the Tashi, Tiana, the 10 days, the such a shooting edition, some not that such a generation. Come on, the going to change shit on you. Come on, you are the channel, the chance and it's on theatre. Today is that Nemo when you was sitting. Let us on theatre, let us on theatre, tell them another thing. Motor dead is on theatre, I'll call it here.
So it's it's very beneficial for us to think about the how, as we said before, how if the even though the basic nature of our mind is clear and is free of any stains, but due to the certain immediate causes and conditions that all these various it gets stained, with by the arising of various afflictive emotions, and so if we imagine that if we simply experience this basic nature of our mind, which is clear and pure, then imagine that, and without any stain, without any influence of any such affliction, mental affliction, or any mental delusions. Without that, then we can be sure, we can understand. We can understand that we can then truly experience. We can find this some sort of a state of bliss or within peace and bliss within our mind. So therefore, on the other hand, we all know very well and very familiar with the fact that how that we lose all our the inner peace and happiness and so forth. Whenever we fall under the influence of such a mental defilements, such as the angers, pride, jealousies, all this. When all this deluded state of mind, when this arises, how then we lose our this peace, inner peace, happiness and stabilities. So therefore with the spiritual practice, so where we need to direct our effort is to trying to realize or to enhance this pure nature, of basic nature of our mind, and which or to enhance the as we said before the wisdoms, wisdom knowledge within us, and so the on the other hand, we need to work on trying to make an effort to trying to overcome or counteract all this to get rid of all the mental afflictions, which is because of which we have to see that that we feel that we inwardly, even mentally, even we cannot think. Sometimes we cannot think very properly. We feel very dull and very confused and very distorted. So trying to understanding that this is all because of this all these mental afflictions, and these afflictions are only arise, as we said before, because of the certain causes and conditions. So therefore, it is, we must understand that it is possible, or it is in our hand to be able to do something to overcome at least the very forceful and very strong form of mental afflictions. So the basic nature, the one way we can also, nature of our mind, one way we can also understand is by knowing the understanding of the what is the meaning, the definition of the mind, and which sometimes it is said that the mind is something which is luminous, like a clear, and awareness or a knowing. These are the two words which gives the definition, which defines the mind. So now this each word, when it says the mind has is something which is clear or luminous, so that shows the nature as a mind, as an entity. So it is not like like something like a with a color or with a certain shape, like the visible form. So rather it is clear. It is said that like an example of like a crystal clear and very very pure. That is the nature of our basic nature of the mind, which is luminous and clear. And then the knowing or the awareness. So that shows the explain the mind's the attribute of being able to have the appearance of various things appearing in the mind, images of various things appearing in our mind. So that is explained like it is like the mirror. If you have a mirror, then it can, the things appearing, various things, images can be reflected in the mirror. So similarly, so the mind has that. This when the mind says knowing or is awareness, so that explains that. So in this way, we trying to when we talk about this, about overcoming all these mental afflictions, and then it is really at the end to what we are trying to achieve is to find, to experience this simply just the pure basic nature of the mind, and it is said that when we do that, when we experience that, then there is we would also in association with that experience of the nature of the mind, there's also some sort of, like a very deep the bliss can be also experienced. So as we understand more about this, the fact that how the various problems that we find in life. So these are all really related, more related to our own this uncontrolled state of mind, and then more specifically, then relate. It is caused the problem. Or most problems all result from these various mental, like the afflictive emotions, which really controlling or overpowering our mind. So such as afflictive emotions, such as like the intense like anger or intense desires and so forth. How these afflictive emotion, how we can they can completely overpower our mind, and then as a result of that, then we find sufferings and in our life. So therefore the as we just discussed before, we also need to understand that it is we can overcome these mental afflictions, and to how we do that. So first of all, in order to overcome that, so we want to bring the mind within our own control, rather than the mind it is controlled or is being overpowered by this mental these afflictive emotions. So it is the as a means, the most effective means to overcoming these mental afflictions, there, and the influence over our mind that we we learn and we practice meditations. So that is so. Therefore, it is very important to or in a sense, it does help us to as we to understand, as we follow the meditation practice, to understanding the exactly how we practice meditation. What is meditation practice for, and really what the benefit we can derive from meditation. We have to be if we are not sure about these, then we may not even if we apply the practice, then it may not be that effective. So therefore if we give a thought on that, how we can understand that the meditation practice is definitely very effective in terms of like overcoming or counteracting the various like mental afflictions, such as we can through meditation practice we can get rid of like intense anger, such as like there's if we when as a remedy to overcome such intense anger, if we engage in the meditation practice, and through that practice, if we develop such as like patience or loving kindness, then we we can understand we can appreciate that how when as soon or the moment we generate we give rise to such the quality of patience and loving kindness in our mind within ourselves, then simply we are able to get rid of this anger, and then as a result of that, or as an effect of overcoming the anger, so we can experience some sense of the peace and the happiness that arise from the eliminations due to the eliminations of this anger. So likewise, there are also, if we look at that, there's also if it's a desire, is the intense desire is a main source of our problems, then again there is a meditation practice through which we can overcome that. And so we have to understand in order to apply the practice effectively is to, first of all, we got to not only we have to understand the means, the practice, meditation practice itself, but also to understand about these mental afflictions, such as recognizing the mental afflictions, like whether it's anger or it's a desire, and how it what causes this desire to arise in our mind. So as said before, the desire arise due to certain causes, immediate causes and conditions. So one of such causes condition is that because the desire arises when we view the object with the over attractive, with the project the object with the over like a pleasant or attractive qualities from that angle. When we perceive that object, then the desire arises. So therefore, as a remedy to that, so we meditate to where we view the object from the unpleasant or the unattractive perspective, and it says that such meditations so it has an impact, has an influence in overcoming the desire. So in this way, it's important to understand that there's a difference, when after we study, we find out about the meditation practice, then we have to understand that that we must now we had a added benefit to added tool to overcome certain problems, especially which we experience in our lives, specifically related to problem that is related to our mind, also our emotions. So how then we not only through meditation practice we recognize the cause of the problem, that is these mental afflictions, but at the same time, and then as we learn about the meditation, then we know what we can do, and so therefore accordingly, if we must also remember to put this learning into practice, and so in this way we can truly gain benefit from meditation, and then can be more appreciate our practice. So whereas on the other hand, if there are like those who have no knowledge about such meditation practice, then they may even lack the knowledge of the fact that what they are going through is the immediately caused by their own mental attitude, their own some afflictive emotion which they possess within themselves. Even they cannot even recognize that, and so let alone thinking of overcoming that. So therefore, how frustrating it can be for this some people, those who lack the meditation. So because they can they experience this the problem, but there's really, other than just simply putting up with that problem, there's really can't see anything they can do to overcome that, and also whatever other thing they may try, but it's not really working. So we have to understand that meditation is the most effective tools, and also to, in fact, we can also say that probably is really the only tools which can the remedy all the problem which are related to our mind, our thoughts, and our emotions. So if the remedy to all the problem is the meditations, then now when we talk of engaging in meditation practice, then of course then it is also can be very challenging, and also we might find it very difficult. And now the main reason why it can be so challenging or difficult is because we are not used to the meditation practice. So like when our mind or when we are used to certain things, then we become familiar with certain things, then it almost not depend. There's no not depends on any effort from our part. So, for example, how how if when we are very habituated to certain the desirable objects. Our mind is very attracted to certain desirable objects, and then how we will find it. If it become very, the desire becomes very habitual, then it makes very difficult for us to overcome that, or to even to prevent the desire from arise, and because of our familiarities, and so therefore now with the meditation practice, so what we are trying to achieve is to prevent all this, any like afflictive emotion to arise, and such as the can be the intense desire, anger, or jealousies, and all this to arise. And so the way we do that, one of the just as we understand that how all these afflictive emotions are all the conditions by certain objects that which we engage ourselves mentally in that objects. So in this way, like certain objects can be a conditions for this to desire or the anger to arise. For example, the anger to arise. But then, if we think of there's some other objects, when it appear in our mind, then that has the effect of preventing this this anger to arise. So when we talk of the object that has the effect of arising or arousing anger, and the other object which has the effect of preventing or to stopping the anger from arising. So there's only when we think of that, so you can't have both together. We can't focus the mind. Can't have both the thought or this emotion at the same time. So in this way, what we are saying is through meditation practice, we are familiarizing, or we are really like training our mind to stay on the desire object which doesn't has the effect of arousing any form of like mental like afflictive emotions within us. So therefore, there is through with the through meditation practice, as we let our mind to remain in that object, then we can we can say that we will find that it does work to stop or all the other like the afflictive emotions to arise, because that object has the effect of preventing because we cannot, while our mind, we have that object in our mind, or the appearance of that particular object in our mind, at the same time or simultaneously, we cannot have the appearance of that different object, that other object which has the effect of arousing afflictive emotions. So therefore, as said before, what is required from our end is to make the continuous effort and to trying to training our mind in the with the meditation practice.
Tsering de Che, that version by a version, Nia Tass and Tsering on the Santa, Tsering on the Drol, I teach you continue like that.
So in short, so the really the purpose or the why we engage in meditation practice is to have the gain control over our mind, and so rather than our minds being overpowered by mental afflictions. So we are going to do the a short breathing meditations. So what's important is to try to relax your body, and also to removing all the distracting thoughts from your mind, and because when we meditate, so we wanted our mind completely fully focus on its objects, because if it's not fully focused, like for example, if it's a part of our mind is wandering outside, then of course our meditation won't be that effective. So it's important to ensuring that when we do the breathing meditation, so we make sure that our mind completely focus on the inhaling and exhaling of the breath, and so therefore it says that the breathing meditations, even though it may not be the means to actually to completely to overcome the various the afflictive emotions, but however it is one of the most effective meditation practice to what we say as to prevent the manifested, we say the manifested form of the mental afflictions, such as like the angers, intense anger or desire, all this something immediate, the such afflictive emotion that which is something which is very troubling us. So how all this will cease immediately, when we are able to fully place our mind, focus, mental focus on the inhaling and exhaling. So that has that effects on the mind. So of course, as a way to really to actually overcome such, like for example, to overcome the anger, then we need to meditate on like a practice on cultivating patience or loving kindness, and how those meditation, then through those meditation, then we can see the decreasing and then eventually completely overcoming all the such the anger. So however here, so the breathing meditation, so here, which is also, as we said, is also very effective, and also sometimes certain time it is more relevant for us in terms of in a time when we to doing that practice in a time when we are mind is not really set to do any like a meditation which directly opposes the mental affliction. So, but rather through undertaking, doing the breathing meditation, then we can stabilize, at least for the stabilize our mind and enhance peace, and then we'll be able to give us more than like the opportunities then to be able to actually counteract the various mental afflictions later on. So we begin the practice now. Okay, that will do. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So in my today's teaching, so we focus on the point of not always not being falling under the power or under the influence of the at least the very intense or a very strong form of mental afflictions or mental affliction or like destructive emotions, and then the reason the why we should not we should not be overpowered by the such mental afflictions. Affliction is because these are because they brings all the sufferings and all the misery in our life. So whereas on the other hand, if we are able to eliminate these mental afflictions, then we will find, genuinely, truly, we will find then the peace and happiness within our mind, and so that is why the we conclude by saying that the meditation, what is meditation practice? So it is all about enhancing this peace and happiness within our mind, through overcoming the mental afflictions.